When I first took a practice LSAT, I had no idea what I was looking at. The questions might as well have been written in another language. And logic games especially, I really did not know what I was looking at. I didn't even know where to begin when it came to solving them. But slowly over time, and certainly over the past several years, as I've taught this exam and studied it on a deeper level, I've come to see that it has a certain internal logic to it. And now I can look at a new practice LSAT and I can immediately relate it back to all the previous ones I've done. Not only the surface level question types, but also the deeper logical structures. And I was thinking about how this applied to yoga the other day because I started practicing yoga probably 3 or 4 years ago now. And when I first did it, I bought a 10-pack because I wanted to try out a new way of exercise. I had done many types in the past, including distance running and CrossFit, and those had only led to significant injuries. So I wanted something a little bit easier on the body, and a 10-pack seemed like a good way to try it out. The yoga studio was only a couple blocks away. And I went in there. I had no prior exposure, no idea what I was doing, and I hated it. But I had the 10-pack, and so I kept going back. And eventually, probably 4 or 5 classes in, I started to get the hang of some of the classical poses like Warrior 1, Warrior 2, Sun Salutations, that kind of thing. And bit by bit, I started to get the logic, to get the flow of what a typical yoga class looks like, how there's a slow warm-up, you build to a peak pose, and then you cool down, do some stretching, finish with Shavasana. And not every class is exactly like that, but there is a certain mirroring element to it where whatever you do on one side of the body, you do on the other side of the body, and you see that most yoga instructors typically use the same core dozen or so poses. They might have some idiosyncrasies, there might be some variations here and there. Some instructors get a bit more creative, but most instructors, most of the time in a yoga class, most if not all of the poses you do will be ones you've done before if you've been practicing for a little while. And the same is true of the LSAT. There is a certain logic to it, a certain build-up to it, both within a section as well as within an individual logic game or reading comprehension passage. And most exams, most of the time, you'll see the same question types and the same methods of reasoning over and over and over again. And occasionally there's a curveball, especially in recent years in the logic game section. But if you've done enough practice LSATs, just like if you practice yoga, if you've gone to enough classes, if you've been practicing for long enough, you start to see the internal consistency and logic of this exam, and there won't really be any new surprises. And even if something new or unexpected does come up, you can relate it back to something you've previously done in some way, or at least you're primed for the possibility of something new and you know how to handle new things. So my advice to you is, if you're having trouble, just accept it as part of the process. Keep doing more practice exams so you see more question types appearing in different forms. You throw some curveballs at yourself. And while you're at it, you might as well take up yoga or some sort of physical exercise. One of the things I really like about yoga is that it incorporates both the physical and the mental. So it has relaxations and anxiety reducing effects. It includes meditation in it as well. And it also keeps your body in shape. So benefits all around. I can't recommend it highly enough. If you have a studio near you, of course, going in person is always best. But there are a couple of YouTube channels I really like as well. Yoga with Adrian's probably one of the most popular, and it's great for beginners. I did that one for a long time. I also really like Fightmaster Yoga with Leslie Fightmaster. I'm not sure if that's her real last name, but that's a great YouTube channel too if you're looking for something a little bit more intermediate or advanced. But whatever the case, accept the fact that improvement comes with time. And if you keep at it, you will get better. I guarantee it. Please feel free to reach out if you need anything at all. If you have any questions, I'm here for you, and I'm always happy to consider topics for future videos. So leave a comment, email me, and I wish you all the best. Take care.